Welcome to CleanerSolutions database training. In this section, I will talk about the lower portion of the database down here with the vendor information. We're going to talk about how to search by vendor supplied information, as well as a general review or browsing through the vendors and products that are in the database. So let's start with search the vendor and supplied info. Let's go to the top. So up here, you could, if you had a specific company you were looking for, a product name that you had, you could type them in and run a search to see if the product was in here. So if you were to say Impro Clean 3800, right? You could run down here and do your submit. You can see that there is one product that's in the database that matched that criteria. So that's one way you can start using this. You could also do a partial name. So you could just take this and run a search. You can see that there are 8 products that have that partial name in it. So then you can kind of find out more about those products by clicking on the names. I'll do that right now so you can see. So if you clicked on the product name, you can see this is the vendor supplied information about who makes it, what type of product it is, what classification it is, what is the recommended soils it can remove, the equipment it can be used with, and the materials that it's safe to use it on. And in some cases, we may have access to safety data sheets as well as some technical data sheets. It also provides you the safety evaluation summary, which we have another training that you can look through to find out how to run those. But if you want to know more about it here, you could click on this. Read about the scale of 2 to 10, 2 being safer, 10 being something to avoid. And also down here, it has the summary of the laboratory lab evaluations that is done for this product over the years. So it's kind of gives you an overall profile of what this product has been used for and what you can find in the database about it. Let me just go back one more time. So that's doing a partial name. You can also do a partial name for the company, but you can also search just by the classifications or the end-use product field. There's a difference between parts cleaning, precision cleaning, and janitorial applications. So if you are just curious about gross contamination and manufacturing setting, you could filter it just by the parts cleaning. But if you're looking at doing household or janitorial applications, those are going to be a slightly different field of products you want to search by. You could then filter by that as well. But you can also look at the product classifications. We saw that the last one we did was an alkaline aqueous. You could run a search just based on that to find out how many alkaline aqueous products are in the database. So there are 482 products that we have entered into the database and have information on either through performance testing or vendor supplied information as well. So you can see that you can kind of scroll through. Again, you can click on the product name to find more about it. There's also, you can click on the safety evaluation and have a pop-up come up about that as well. So I'm going to go search again. Now, so this is slightly different than the other searching that we've looked at, looking at specific end uses. So this is what the bottom portion of this is intended to do. This should look very similar to find a cleaner or replace a solvent, where you're looking at the soil you want to remove or the contaminant, the material, the substrate that you're trying to clean, and the type of equipment that you're trying to use it in. So if we were to do a search again, we wanted to look at cutting fluids, greases, and lubricants from aluminum and stainless steel. We could run a search based on that. This is not a result that's going to come back saying it can clean this and this and this on this and that. It's either this or that. But it allows you to get an idea of what's in there for you to be able to use. So we click submit. It'll run through and give you a list of products that match that criteria. So these ones that are showing up have been tested, or the vendors have said that it's compatible with cutting fluids, greases, lubricants for aluminum and stainless steel. Again, same idea. It lists the products. It shows you what's there. It tells you what classification it is and its safety evaluation. So you can do a comparison by clicking on 3 of these to be able to compare side by side. And I'm going to go down to the bottom and compare, because I think I had some left over from before. So here are 3 products. They're not all alkaline aqueous. These are different bio-based or some enzymatic mixtures. But if you look at this profile. This, again, summarizes what you just saw on that product data sheet. Based on the soils it can remove, the equipment that it can be used with, and materials that it would be safe to use on. Any safety data sheets or technical data sheet links. It has the summary of the safety screening, safety evaluation information, as well as a summary of how many times these products have been used in the laboratory. It kind of gives you an overall profile of what it's been used for, how effective it is, how consistent it is. You know, is it a 50-50 mix? Is it, you know, it doesn't work and only once in a while it works? Kind of gives you an overall profile of the products. So that is how you use this section of it. Let me go back now and we'll look at the second option is the browse vendors and products. This was set up just to kind of go quickly through if you had an idea, you weren't sure what's available, you had an idea of the product company name, you can click on one of the tabs to see what's in there to find the quick contact information if we have it for these things. Or again, you can do a partial name. You can type in Brulin and you can find out, here are all the Brulin products that are in there. You can see that we had checked this off to compare. It's still there. You can, you know, unselect it. You can click on the product name, get you to this point, just like we did before. So you can do a partial name, you can do a full name, or you can just kind of scroll through where you were right here, just looking at the various products in each of the alphabet classifications. So that's how you would use the vendor supplied information to search through the database. I hope that answers your questions.